here we are, another one. LAFC, big game. What are your thoughts heading into this one?
Yeah, so obviously it's a big game. As you noted before, we're kind of dropping points since the international break, and obviously this Montreal game was a huge step forward for us. And for LAFC, it's a little bit of a big game. Obviously, they got a couple of new signings. People are excited, and obviously it's a derby game. So yeah, people are up for it. It's going to be an intense one, and yeah, the boys are ready.
Is it just the Montreal result flip like that, the way you guys were playing before, to that result? You think things are back on track for you guys?
Yeah, I think our identity and the way we want to play and the way we see things and how we defend and attack, I think it came to fruition in Montreal, obviously. But now, as I told you before, it's about consistency. Can we do it now away from home in a tough environment against our rivals? So yeah,
it's an environment you're used to. I mean, yeah. What is it like? You haven't been there.
Never
been
there
as an opponent.
No, never been there as an opponent. Obviously, I know I'm going to get a lot of jeers and whatnot, and it's not an easy place to play. Obviously, as me being there last year, I know a lot of guys. I talking to a lot of guys that are playing against us last season. It's not a place that a lot of people want to go to. Obviously, so yeah, we know that. We know it's going to be a hard game, but as I said before, it's a derby. Anything can happen whether you're home or away. So yeah, the boys are ready to go.
Raheem, now as an LA Galaxy player, you've experienced what it is to win the two derbies that you've already had this season. So what has the LA Galaxy done right against LAFC in those two games? Is it like a mindset or something?
I believe it's kind of a mindset. I think from the first, let's say the first 15 minutes of games, I think we were more prone to win second balls, win duels. I think that's our fight in general, more so than the tactical stuff. I think our fight was there. So I think coming into this game, we know the fight has to be there. If we want to get any points away from Bank of California, the fight has to be there first and foremost.
What kind of makes you guys want to have that fight? Is it part of the rivalry? Do you talk about it during practice?
It's just something different against playing LFC. Obviously, any derby game, but obviously this is a big one in MLS. Obviously, so I think there's no need for motivation itself rather than that. So I think guys are just up for a little bit more, which is natural. So yeah.
We've seen this rivalry have goals early, especially goals late. Is it just when it happens late? It just you guys are just so exhausted. Do things just break? It could be through the game. I just think it's just in the stars. It's just these derby games. There's late goals, drama. Drama has to happen as much as you don't want it to happen. Obviously, if you guys ask us, I wish we could win 3-0, but it could happen. But it's usually not like that with these derbies. Obviously, there's a lot of drama. So just keeping a level head and just keep on pushing whether anything happens, anything bad or good. You just know that's a part of the game. It's a part of the derby for sure.
I think we just bring an intensity to our performance, and we kind of bring our A game, and it kind of brings the best out of us. So hopefully we just need to replicate that again, and it will bring us another good result. But we go into it with confidence. Obviously we had a good game last game, winning 4-0, and then the fact that we've had a good record against them gives us a little bit even more confidence. So let's see how it goes.
Can you talk a little bit more about that mindset? And Raheem was just saying how that fight comes naturally because of the rivalry, because of these games. So what's the environment like leading up to the game?
It's everyone's kind of it's on everyone's minds a little bit. So we were all talking about it as soon as the last game finished. We were talking about LAFC, our minds towards LAFC, and I think the atmosphere helps. You can feel the emotion within the stadiums, whether we're home or away. You feel that kind of emotion and that intensity in the stands. So it kind of everyone lifts a little bit more. You can't help it. We're only human, and we can feel how much it means to everyone. So it's a big game, and big players kind of putting good big performances in big games.
What are some of the positives that you guys showed in those two games that now you can take to this game, that it's going to be the first one away at the Bank of California, which will be a different environment?
Yeah, we showed a lot of fight in those two games. I thought we did all the dirty stuff really well. We picked up a lot of second balls, we won a lot of duels, we took our chances. We played in transition really well on the counter-attack, and we didn't give them much space to play in, because obviously they've got a lot of quality in their team. So we kind of found a formula in the last couple of games that worked, and hopefully we can replicate that for the next game.
As an opponent, how do you see kind of the spotlight that they have right now with big signings like Chiellini and Gareth Bale? And is that an extra motivation to be you can have that spotlight? But
it can be. I think I'm not sure how much of a part those two will play tomorrow, but once the game starts and the whistle goes and everyone's on the field and the game, everyone's kind of in game mode, and it doesn't really matter who's playing on the other team. I'm not thinking about that. It's obviously talking points that people like to talk about and gets talked about in locker rooms and stuff, but at the end of the day they've still got to go out and prove it, and it doesn't really change much for us. We just have to concentrate on ourselves.
Jonathan, Greg spoke about playing with two forwards. He felt defensively there was a little bit of compromise for you guys. Where do you think the room for improvement is?
I felt like the two forwards were great for us last game. They were a handful for the back five of Montreal, and they gave us a target. Every time the ball went up to them, it kind of stayed up there, and it took pressure off of us. And they obviously both scored as well, so it's kind of a double threat. As soon as you're getting into crossing positions, the defence have got worried about not just Chicharito, but obviously Dejan as well, and Ryan coming in. So yeah, it definitely provides more of a threat. And yeah, I think if we choose to go that way tomorrow, then we'll hopefully try and replicate what we saw in the last game.
But for you guys defensively, did you feel like sometimes we were a little overextended, or do you feel like there's easy fixes, solutions to that?
Well, I mean, we kept a clean sheet last game, so I don't think we were too overly exposed. To be honest, I felt like we were quite solid. I think maybe some of our issues within the last game was just due to their maybe the way they set up their formation. So it wasn't necessarily about maybe us overextending by using two forwards. But I think obviously Greg understands it way more than I do. But I felt that we defensively were pretty solid. We were not bad, I felt. Yeah.
And do you guys think you guys are mentally prepared for this game?
Yes, we do. I think the last game really helped. We were in, had a couple of tough games before that, and then a confidence boosting 4-0 was exactly what we needed before this game. So mentally, I think we're in a good place. Everyone seems in good spirits. I can feel that in the locker room, and we all look forward to this game. So it's always a good mindset to be in.
And even though you guys statistically are better, you guys aren't going in confident, or are you guys going to go in slow?
No, we're not. We're definitely not going to go in slow. But I mean, statistically, the record that we have against them is pretty good for us. I think I don't know the record exactly, but I know that since I've been here, we've not lost against them. So it doesn't mean anything at this point, but it kind of gives us that little bit of comfortability and confidence going into the game. So yeah, we're in a good place.
Greg, what's the attitude? I mean, of course, it's a big game, but coming off the win against Montreal, as you look past that game to this one here, what are your thoughts going into this one?
Yeah, again, it's the same. There's obviously both sides have a tactical foundation to the game, but there's a certain level of it's just a derby, and you got to get out and you got to put the work in, and you got to compete. The game's going to have its ups and downs because there's two good teams, and so they're going to have their moments. We're going to have ours. How emotionally you manage through all of those times in the game, but to again to be able to establish our collective competition side of things are going to be important. Obviously, the guys are well aware of what we're trying to do from a tactical standpoint, just because we've been at this for a while, but it's a derby. Managing the emotions and competing is the key.
I know the one game last year, you guys up at their place, you down 3-1, I think, came back and got a draw.
Yeah.
You guys have been pretty much in control of the two games here. Is there a fine line when you go from home and away in this series?
Yeah, always. I mean, I think teams at home are a lot more comfortable for whatever reasons. Their own fans, their locker room, their stadium, usually places where they've gotten a lot of wins, so you have that level of just confidence usually at home. And for them, that's certainly been the case. And so I think when you go there, you don't want the game to look too different, but at the end of the day, you have to respect the situation that it is different. And every game is different, and inside of a game, you've got to adapt a little bit to try to keep the game as much in your vision or our vision as we can, but we understand that they're a good team and we're going to have to manage moments as well. And they have very good players. But again, it's away, and we'll see how it plays out, because at some point the balance of power is going to be in each team's hands, and who can take advantage of those moments is going to come out victorious.
We saw the acquisition of Gaston. When do you expect them in town?
Hopefully within the next week or so. The visa process is underway. Hopefully that can be relatively expeditious and we can get him here. He's training and working to get his fitness level up. He's been super engaged. He's got all of the details that he needs to to try to hit the ground running. He understands the uniqueness of joining a club mid-season like this at the end of what would have been a season for him. So again, the conversation's been positive. He's professional. He's been sending back videos of the work he's doing. So we're really pleased with that. So hopefully, again, within the next week he's in, and we can start to integrate him into the training environment and get him to match fitness and all that kind of stuff.
Greg, you just mentioned the importance of managing the just emotions during the game, and the guys were just saying there's just natural fight that comes with the game. What have you seen? Is there something special that you tell them to rally them up, or is it just something that you can sense throughout the week?
I think if you're a competitor at all, which all of these guys are, when you are playing against the crosstown rival, when you have a derby, as I've said, they have relationships with guys on the other side, so you want to get the head up on your even whether you're friends or whatever on the other side. That competition side is naturally there. I think the other side of it is balancing not being so lost in that side of things that you're not thinking clearly about what needs to happen in the game, making mistakes, things like that. It's just to stay present in the moment and to manage the situation and adapt as the game goes, but always being extremely present in the moment and on the competitive side, but also just the emotional stability side. So I think with our guys, they're and I would say the same with their guys. You know, when you get in these games, I think the competition in the individual is going to come out no matter what.
What did you see in those games, in those two prior games from this group, and especially during an elimination game and the cup, and the way they were able to manage those emotions and then get a positive result?
Yeah, I thought it was excellent. I mean, I thought in the match here, by and large, we played at a little bit different speed than they did, and that kind of gave us the control of the balance of power in the game, because we were a little sharper, a little quicker at times, and so you got to try to do that again. You got to try to be first to second balls. You got to try to win as many of the blue collar duels in there, and then out of that you can find your moments to play and do things. But both teams have quality. Both teams can hurt each other, so you have to respect all sides of this game. And I think that's when our team is at the best, when they have the ultimate respect for the opposition, but the ultimate mentality when it comes to that competition side of things.
No, it's okay. With the depth that they now have also on the defensive side, did you feel the team played better? What you saw on Monday, having like a dual thread with Dejan and Chicharito, is that something that you would like to see more?
Yeah, I mean, we'll use it at times. I mean, you know, when we've played three in the back, we've sometimes have committed a second striker into the situation. But we choose what we think is best against the opposition, depending on on what we think we're trying to win, whether it's the midfield or the battle in front of the net or whatever that is. We try to be fluid with that. But it's nice to see, again, just the relationship between those guys up top is continuing to grow, and they're working together defensively, working together on the attacking side. Certainly they created their share of danger in that game, and so it's certainly something that we'll see more of, but we've sort of used it situationally up until now, and so we'll see how we progress with that over the second part of the season.
So we expect Cabral to play some sort of a role in this game?
Well, he'll be back into the team, yeah, so he'll play some sort of a role. I think he was important in the last couple of matches, just again his speed in the transition, his directness, his ability to stretch the back line. Keeps a team that wants to be aggressive in the press and in the counter press a little bit more honest when you can threaten that space behind them. So I think that's important. He'll certainly play some role in this match for sure.
Everybody came out of Montreal healthy?
Yeah. We obviously Ryan had this little issue at the beginning that was a little unclear, but he taped up and then turned around a great performance after that. So he's been out training and he's been in good way this week, and everybody else is trending in the right direction and just getting the recovery, which I think everybody's over, and now they're into game mind right now for tomorrow. We're good. That's it. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.